5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, that's just stupid. Okay. By the way, if anyone can figure out and like tell me how to you used to be able to press like triangle when you were in replay viewer and it would pop circles above the people with health bars and alts and shit. But I think with a new patch they got rid of it, or I don't know, unbounded or something. But if you guys figure that out, let me know because I kind of need that. So starting off with comp wise, since they're running a dive, I would probably swap off. Well, no, actually, I'm fine with what we're running because we are running the Ashe. So fuck comps. Never mind. If anything, Laz, yeah, you play with Chu. I'm fine with where Chase is playing. Okay. Okay, we shouldn't be engaging that early Tusk, especially since it doesn't look like anyone's really ready. When you do go for an engagement like that, Chu, you need to be a little bit closer to follow up on damage. Sunless, same for you. Make sure we're pocketing Chase here more than Sunless. Sunless doesn't really need it.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
Okay, good. We're taking positioning on left. So normally in this comp, it's either going to be an Echo or a Tracer alongside the Ashe. Sometimes we have an Echo Tracer. But what needs to be happening is the four of you are almost going to be, you're kind of going to be playing like a 2-4 split. So Ball and Tracer or Ball and Echo are going to be on the flank, not necessarily on the flank, but looking to capitalize on people that are out of position. So let's say if let's say if there was a Zen over here with their whole team over there, that's when the two of you would capitalize on the Zen while everyone else pushes the bulk of their team. So the DPS that isn't sitting with the SIG or the support should be going with Tusk or Name when we're playing this ball comp. That's basically the biggest thing on about this comp that needs to be kind of prioritized, is that the DPS, that one DPS and the Ball are working together, diving at the same target, that kind of thing. Okay, good. We're rotating. See, that was fine. This is an instance where what needs to be happening is Sunless, you need to be like right here as soon as Tusk goes in. So Tusk gives a countdown, 3, 2, 1. Sunless, you're up here on 3. You know, then we go in, and then hopefully nothing like this can happen where the Mercy res is for free. Yeah, Laz, I would be pushing back even more. Don't stay out in the open this close. Kill. A bit unlucky, but it's fine.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
I really need to figure out this fucking setting. Okay, if we're gonna engage with the scoop and poop, you want to be doing it right here, just because this is a little bit closer to where our team is, and it's not out of LOS, so they can be able to help you.
Mobility increased.
You get out fine. Their monkey's out of position.
Finishing them off.
Good.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Not good.
Debuff.
I'm fine with those mines. It splits the team apart. Yeah, they should be dying here.
Adaptive.
Somebody said that we over-ulted in this fight. I think we over-ulted too early for the most part. We shouldn't, for the most part, we also shouldn't be, stacking Trance and Valk at the same time. We should try to separate the two of those apart. The Bob on point, that's fine, but if we have the Bob on point and he doesn't get knocked off, then we need to be focusing something down, because that's basically your point presence instead of Tuss being on point.
Shield engaged.
Good, make sure we're focusing the dude. Good.
Ready for battle.
Okay, I think we're gonna look at one person's POV here and start with Laz.
5, 4.
Because quite honestly, I can't really see everything without that, the one thing I was talking about.
2, 1.
It's kind of hard to.
Changing position.
I think somebody calls for the rotation on the right. Yep, good. So what this rotation on right does, it controls the Mega down bottom right, which is a lot better in general. Because once we get control of Mega, then we can start pushing. That forces them towards point. We have a Mega behind us if we need to. Okay, Laz, you should already have a volley charged up before we even push down here. Okay, anytime that a Tracer recalls, like as soon as she pops recall, you should start charging a volley, because I'm pretty sure how it is when as soon as the Tracer recalls, by the time she's out of recall, you would be able to charge up at least 2 shots in order to kill her. In order to at least pressure her out more or potentially kill her. I think we could have stayed down that angle. Personally, that was a good angle for Laz just because he had straight shot view. And Chu, we were being a little passive. But thankfully Chase and Sunless and Tuss kind of cleaned up for it.
I am taking the objective.
So if anything, Sig and Zen should be pushing down that, or at least staying there. Chu, you push up a little bit to get, to basically just contribute. Yes, good. This is where you want to be positioning. If we wanted to swap over to a different comp, DPS-wise, then we would need to drop the Mercy for a Brig. This is mainly where our supports need to be staying alongside of Chu. So for the most part, Laz is in the right place. Maddie, you're in the right place if you were Brig. Chu, you need to be posted up on these steps right here. kind of in the middle. For the most part, any kind of off tank should be posted, minus like Hog, but should be posted kind of like halfway in between supports and halfway in between the bulk of the fight, where most of the time our main tank is going to be. This gives you the ability to help the main tank do damage to their team, but also be able to turn around and peel for your supports. So I'm fine with where we're set up right now, but I'm just saying if we had the Brig, that's the kind of setup we would need, and that would be if we have like a Tracer or a Widow. Oh, sorry, I was going to go back. Okay, make sure we're keeping Harmony on Tusk. I would, for the most part, keep Orb on Tusk. You should not have dropped. There was no need for you to drop here. Good kill. Good Harmony. Okay, again, we're retaking position back on top. Good, charging it. Again, stop dropping. Maybe that was just an accident. Again, no, you need to be taking that high ground. What is this angle gonna do if they push to where the SIG is? Right now, you can't even see the SIG. You're gonna have a very tiny window where you're gonna be able to do much in this specific fight. Also, you're not gonna be able to efficiently see your Ashe, your Sigma, if they're playing on these stairs, because they're gonna be out of LOS in order for Harmony. Same for Discord. If you're up here, you have all of this space to see. You know, you're looking top, you're looking down that cutoff, you're looking to the right. You can see all of this, flanks. You can peek to the left. This is the best place for you to be sitting. Whether that be on Zen or Ana. So quit dropping to the low ground, basically. Don't go for the second volley. After that, just start primary.
Heroes never die.
Didn't need trance there. Let's go back just to watch that again.
Heroes never die.
Personally, I would never go towards cliffside this far out, just because the ball could boop you, the Brig could boop you, a Lucio, etc. So I usually sit where Maddie is right now, or right here. Yes, this was last fight, but they were already down, what? 2? Okay, they were only down 1 person, and then we get the kill. Yeah, once we get that second kill, especially since we got the kill on the Mercy, I don't think trance was really needed. However, this is kind of last fight, so I'm not super upset about it.
Now to strike.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Zenyatta.
Nice.
Moving on.
For the Widow, she's above you. Okay, I wanted to highlight specifically Laz just because he was playing Zen on this point, and I noticed more positioning wise, and I wanted to touch on the if we had a Brig.
Ready for battle.
You know, I saved Jesse's life once. Am I supposed to be thankful for that?
Hey. Reinhardt, what are your plans for the holidays?
I'll probably visit Torvald's friend Hilton. I can ask.
It's nice that they put Christmas voice lines in at Christmas. What are we running? There we go. Alright, we're gonna look at Chu now.
Capture.
Eventually, I'm just gonna probably do 2 or 3 maps tonight, and then just kind of rotate through people, whether that be between capture points, just to highlight specific things that I noticed at least through the first 3 maps.
Moira by your side.
Oh, this is my jam. Check this out.
Comp-wise, I don't like the Ashe or the Junkrat. The Junkrat's not the worst here, but if we're gonna run this heavy brawl, we should run something that is gonna go with it. Junk doesn't really necessarily go with this. Neither does Ashe. Both of those are more bunker pick playstyles. If anything, I know our DPS hate these people, but Reaper may, even Kree may. One of those, both of those, either one. I think it'll be a lot better than the Junk and the Ashe. I don't like rotating right. Left side, I just feel is a lot better. Just because it's a little bit, I don't know, it just feels, I don't like it. I don't know. Good bubble. Once wall goes up, we probably should have dropped back the point. At least Tusk should have, just because since he got walled off, the only way out for him is further into no man's land, jumping back the point where we have LOS on him, or we're breaking the wall and he comes through. Yep, this is kind of a dead fight. A little early on the bubble. Could have saved it a little bit later. Good. Good DMAC, leave her, good. Good, patience on the bubble. Good. No need to bubble our Ryan there. But again, it was clean up, so that's fine. And in the mid fight, me calling don't use that bubble there makes more sense if it's mid fight, but that was clean up, so again, not too worried about it. Okay, so at this point, you're high charge, right? Zarya has a natural tendency that when she is in the mid fight, she's constantly going to be getting energy because she's rotating through her bubbles. So any bubble that you use here, specifically allied bubbles, need to be in like anywhere from like once you have that 40 initial charge, anything after that you're using for allied bubbles should be looked towards saving someone's life or blocking big cooldowns, that kind of thing. So if you're Ryan's anti, you're using bubble to cleanse. If one of your teammates get hooked, you're using bubble for that kind of thing. Excuse me. Okay, you're looking to grab here. The best kind of grab that you could possibly get is where their supports are split. Yes, the Lucio has beat. So if you grab, like, once this Ryan comes around the corner and is standing right here, that's when you want to grab. Or, like, grabbing, like, right here, because once they pop beat, they're not going to be able to hit their Ryan with the beat. That's kind of like prime grab. So let's just see what to do. I know when you can do that, but let's go back. I just want to look at that bubble usage again.
This will restore. The power of
Okay, I think the bubble was a little bit too early on Tusk. He wasn't really in any danger of dying at that point. And they used Blizzard. If we had saved that bubble for when a little bit later afterwards, then Tusk wouldn't have been frozen up here. Little early on bubble. Good grab here though. Good pin. Focus Lucio, not the Ryan. Good. Didn't need to bubble there. Let's go back again. That got a little chaotic, sorry. Okay, again. We use bubble too early on him. We do have a good grab. Need to be focusing the Lucio in the grab, not the Ryan. We use self bubble, which again I think we could have waited a bit on self bubble before we used. Didn't really. Well, yeah, I guess we could have used it. That was fine. Yeah. I'm not too upset with those bubbles. That was fine.
I will never.
You were possibly a little bit too early on your self bubble during that grab when the Rhine shattered, but that's all.
Физкульт, привет.
Get you here now.
This is my will.
Good read. That, yeah, I was about to say, as soon as our Rhine gets slashed, that's when. Okay, our focus splits and okay. Let's go back and this is more team, but so good read that they're gonna go bottom. We meet them here. Our Ryan gets stunned. We bubble him. Good bubble. I don't know how that didn't hit Kree, but alright. Cool. So we're already almost at 99. Forget the point at this point. At this point, they're worrying about staying on point in order to keep the overtime to keep going. Since we're at 99, we need to win this fight in order to close out the round, right? Instead, we have two of our people over here. Specifically, even worse, is Laz over here. Which, again, you should be sticking to your Rhine since one, he's already low, and you're over here. And Diva eats orb. Unlucky. So... oh, that's bullshit, but alright. Our Lucio dies, our Rhine follows, our Junk's next. No, okay, other way around. So instead, what we did, since we have a Junk, we can burn through those ice walls extremely fast. Burn through the ice wall, push through, support Tusk, let the Diva and Mei touch point, roll through the Rhine, roll through the Lucio. And then we're good. Like, it... instead of going to point, we split ourselves up, which inevitably lost us that fight. Good pin.
Time to raise my APM.
I'm on fire. Practice makes perfect.
Come out and face me.
Surrender to my will.
A little early on the bubbles. On the bubble on the Tusk. He didn't need it. He wasn't in danger. So, at this stage, of course you're looking to build charge, but since we use Cole, we have a bit more tendency to be more aggressive just because we have that extra heal plus the extra damage. So throughout this fight, we're already in the mid fight, right? You're naturally going to get the charge when you're pushing in. So using your bubbles, you want to try to use your bubbles so that you're not only saving people, but you're also getting energy from it. So making sure these timing of the timing on the bubbles, excuse me, is perfect, will net you more value just because you're canceling the anti, you're cleansing freeze, that kind of thing. Which again, if you hadn't bubbled Tusk here, he would have had bubble to knock you across. Focus Lucio, good kill. Good bubble on Maddie. Don't grab. Okay, good.
Bad guys. Heads up.
I will never surrender.
Yep. You move faster if you do that, by the way. I think this is pretty good positioning, just because if the Rhine gets walled, that wall's not going to do much because you're going to have LOS on him in order to see for bubbles. Okay, we should have led with Grav here. A little late on the bubble, but it's fine. Should have led with Grav here instead of Tire, just because we're trying to clump it up for the Tire to get big value. Oh, that was such a good boop from their D.Va.
Step right.
Yeah, that kind of just won them the fight. Yeah.
Give me another shot.
I'm on the objective. Coming?
Huge bubble. Yeah, I don't know how we died to that, but we don't die to that. Okay, so low charge, pushing into this, short time on the clock. We need to be making sure we're keeping track of this D.Va's DM so that we can successfully, get Grav off. So make sure you're watching out for that when you go in. Oh, that's not good. Good. Glad you didn't bubble him yet. Good. Didn't need to shatter that as well. Huge beat from them. Big freeze.
I am not a good loser.
Okay, so let's talk about what we could have done better for that fight as a team.
Give me another
That's
shot.
about where I want to be. Okay, we're not winning this fight. Maddie, you just need to get out.
I passed this door.
Nerf this.
Again, we shouldn't be dying to this bomb. Yeah, that just happens sometimes, but yeah, we're already going into this fight a 4v6. Not good. Sunless comes, both of our characters come back quick, yes, but we just lost beat before we went in. Goal of this right now is to toe on to point and survive as long as possible in order for resources to get back. How we do that is with using Ko as kind of the what's the word? Kind of the is basically the pressure that keeps us from bleeding out in this fight. God, I can't think of the word. Since we're down to support, that is basically going to help us to survive through the onslaught while we're waiting for people to come back. Yeah, probably. If honestly, if neither of us die here, we win this. But there is still ways to stall out this point because we have so many ults. Look at the ultimate advantage right now. They're coming up to 3 ults, but they don't have them yet. We have 4 ults, 3 of which could be the most crucial ults in the game. You have Beat, you have Grav, Shatter if he hits it big. So what we need to be doing here is to get the toe on the point, pop Ko to help us survive through it. Hopefully Maddie gets back, Sunless gets back. Once we have a little bit more pressure, we go in. That's when we aggro Beat, we go forward. Use tank ults, we win this. Okay, we touch bottom of point, we pop Cole. Again, we try not to double up on these two, on tank ults. Chew, I don't know if you knew you were getting frozen or not, but I guess be more aware. Bad pin, don't go for that pin. You're lucky that, yeah, pin's not worth it here. You're already low. Like I said, we're waiting for people. If you don't pin here, we're probably going to survive this, and we'll have reinforcements back. Maddie gets back, we pop beat, we win. Same thing. We don't need to constantly, for Chew, we don't need to be on point. We just need to toe on and off until the overtime wick gets under, like, the V. That's when we try to touch, get back off. Touch, get back off. Eventually, the overtime wick's going to burn super fast. But by the time that happens, we'll have reinforcements. We'll have Maddie back with beat. We'll have Sunless back, that kind of thing. So didn't need to necessarily play there. I understand that it can be very, kind of panicky and confusing when this kind of fight happens. We're coming into the fight, we're down 4v6. However, we have ultimate advantage. We can still contest this out. That should be the objective here, is to trying to delay this point long enough for our people to get back. Once our people get back, that's go time, that's when we win. So our mindset needs to switch away from going for plays and being a bit more passive and reserved, trying to draw this out as long as possible. So when our people come back, that's when it's go time, especially since, like I said, we have beat. Yeah. I think we could have waited to touch just a little bit longer, lads. Yeah, so, other than that, that's a great first map, so. Do Kings AH6 ZVJ. Sorry, give me a second.
Now entering King's Row. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Here. You want to mute yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just because I'm not caught up. Are you starting another map?
Yeah,
or...
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, what map are you gonna do next?
I'm doing Kings at the moment.
Okay, cool. I'll get caught up on this one.
Yep.
And then next one I'll talk.
Sure. So just go ahead and mute yourself and then I'll go.
Okay, I'm muting myself.
Okay, so first thing. If I want to say it. playing competitively in leagues, you have to decide for yourself whether you're looking to play for fun or if you're looking to play to win and just get better in general. If you're looking for the latter, there are swaps that are going to need to be made, and we need to do those correctly. At the moment, I think it's Vilzago. I'm gonna call him Hidalgo. I like Hidalgo. It's a good movie. Hidalgo shouldn't be in right now. If he is in, he should be playing main support, and Laz should be in on flex support. Laz is our flex support. He is the best on all of the flex support characters out of our supports. He needs to be in on the Zen, and that's just how it has to be. I don't really give a shit who else is in for main support. It could be anyone, but that's just how it has to be. We need to be making these swaps smart, and this wasn't the best decision here. Off of that, excuse me, here's how we should be setting up on defense with this comp specifically. Do I like this? I think if we wanted to change anything in this, it would be Gek goes on to Hanzo, or we run a Tracer. So that would be Sunless and Chase in. Chase is on the Tracer, Sunless is on the Ashe. We just need to decide which one works out best specifically for this map, and go with that. However, since we're playing the Echo here, that's still fine, but I think the other two picks are a little bit better. How we should be playing on this map is, for the most part, this hallway and here and up here is where a good chunk of our team should be playing. Nobody should be playing on the low ground except for Naeem. And potentially Gek. So same thing applies to what I said on Busan. The DPS that isn't the hit scan should be coordinating with Naeem or Tusk when they're on the ball so that we're getting those picks. Everywhere else, Chu, for the most part, where you're going to want to be playing, as soon as they push through choke on a statue, you're playing right here on this top. And do not fall down to point. It's not your job to contest point. For the most part, it should be Naeem's job to contest point. The only way you contest point is kind of last-ditch efforts here. The flex support should be up here as well. So, again, either on here, over here, or in this top hallway. As well as Chase, and then the main support, who is going to be pocketing Chase. Everyone and Naeem and the other DPS are looking for the opportunities to get the big kills once they come through. Playing down here, you're just asking, especially since they're running a Lucio, you're just asking to get run over here. What they have to do to get to you guys up here is either rotate bottom through hotel, rotate right and jump across the gap using speed. And by that point, we are going to see these rotations, and you will already be rotating back this way. And if they keep pushing further, you keep rotating. Keep rotating. You keep rotating. The way to beat a setup like this is through rotations, because eventually you guys are going to run out of room over here, and that's going to mean that the way that they win the fight, or that's how they win the fight, is by clearing this entire high ground off in order to push you guys to the low ground. That's how you win a setup like this, is you're constantly out-rotating the team, because, one, you guys don't have speed boost to reposition. Because in another case, let's say if we had a Lucio and they rotate this way and keep pushing, all we have to do is jump out here, cut through hotel, come this way, go up top, and again, it's ring around the rosy. However, since we don't have the Lucio, we're encouraging them to come up through these rotations, and as they're making the rotations, we're hitting them with Discord, we're hitting them with Dynamites, we're hitting with roll-throughs, knock-ups, slams, Dynamite, Discord, Hyperspheres, rocks, etc. Them rotating through all of this is going to be, like, if they make it through all of this, then we did something wrong. And we're not hitting those abilities, we're not using the abilities, or we're just blind as fuck and we didn't do anything about them. If they make through this whole rotation, then without dying, they either played that extremely well or we did it wrong. So that's kind of the big thing for this map. First point. Oh, let's get.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What a cunt, pushing him off.
Defend objective A.
I'm fine with the poke through here. Good stickies. Good. See what I mean? Exactly what I said was going to happen happened. Our Sig, well, mainly our Zen got ran over because we weren't positioned better. And Naeem's about to die because he went in. I don't know why you went in. So, since they have a Widow, Gek, your job is to be going and harassing the shit out of her with Naeem. If that means we're giving point progress to them, then that means we're giving point progress to them. Either way, you doing that is going to release pressure for our other our teammates to be able to peek without worrying. Specifically, if you get the kill.
Hello.
A lot of just sitting around here, Gek. You could be... You have mobility that they don't, in the sense that you can fly high. So just sticking around there wasn't doing much. You could have been up here poking the entire time. Yeah, just die on point at this... Well, or you can... If you can't get out, get out, but...
Hello.
You have to get the fuck out of dodge. No, my... Gek, shut the fuck up.
Enemies in our orbit.
Yep, go for the peek here. Good res. I'm okay with that trance. Good kill, Chase. We used pile drive a little bit too early, by the way. I noticed that once we used the flux. Make sure we're trying to use that as the flux comes down. Nice. I would have stayed up there a little bit longer. You controlling that high ground means she can't peek. She can't peek anything except through that main gate. That's it.
Everybody come over here. My ultimate is ready.
Boosting up.
That was a good grab on their part to deny res. Get out. You can grab a mini. Good.
Stabilizing system core.
If anything, we shouldn't have gotten punished with, our Zen shouldn't have gotten punished that close up. Good dude. I don't know how the fuck that hit him. Yeah, get the fuck out. Personally, I definitely don't pin in that situation. You're not going to get any value out of that duplicate unless... Very, very rare circumstances are you going to get much value out of that duplicate. Because you just put yourself in no man's land. We can't really help you out if you're that far out. So just swinging your hammer and being the main tank for the team for 10 seconds is a lot better than going for a pin like that. Down cart, no ults.
Just to say
I'm not the biggest fan of this Kree. If anything, maybe Hanzo would be better. Just because when we have that Hanzo Ash, we can play a little bit more split. Either Hanzo plays on low ground while Ash is up here. Both snipers are on high ground, one on this side, one on this side. Hanzo's playing in here, Ash is playing top, that kind of thing. Either that or you swap to... Well, they're matching you in DPS. Yeah, I don't know. The Kree's fine, I guess, but Hanzo you can at least combo with Flux. I mean, to the degree you can with Kree, but Flux is easier to combo with the Dragon than it is for Kree's Deadeye. Good stun. Nice shots. Good try. And even if this, okay, so another reason I don't like the Kree, Chu's gonna have to constantly worrying about shielding for somebody other than himself, because Kree to a certain degree doesn't have that long range capability that something like Hanzo does. So you're gonna have to be playing on Chu's hip the entire time, which that means he's gonna have to worry about constantly having to block the Widow when she has sights on you, that kind of thing. Switching over to the Hanzo allows you to play further back and be more self-sufficient, and also allowing Chu to play more of a deathmatch style in the sense that he only needs to really worry about himself for the most part. Again, keeping Harmony on our Ball, not our Sig. Ball should be taking the brunt of the damage here, not us. That was aggressive, and if it doesn't get you killed, I'm shocked. Good trance, good focus on the Rhine. Sheesh. Somebody likes to fan the hammer. Oh my fuck. Don't act like you did shit. Don't even. Good. Glad you didn't keep peeking.
Barrier in place.
You could have gone for it right then. Once that shield, once you notice that the Rhine shield is almost completely gone, it's gonna take it's gonna take one shot to break through that barrier. You could have killed the Moira while she was going. Possibly, maybe even more, if you would have popped it just a little bit earlier. They want your ass. Good Flux, Chu. Yeah, you're fucked anyway. Good Flux though.
Got unfinished business. My ultimate is charging.
Get over here.
He has Shatter. You want to be playing a little bit further back. He hasn't used it in 2 fights, so you should know he has it. Unlucky that you got pulled into that, but yeah, died, so that's good. Since they got off the Widow, instead of playing with Chu constantly on cart, if you wanted to play it right in here, once they're walking down where you're at now, and then once they start pushing through all the way, then you rotate to this window, and then eventually you're going to rotate back over to this way. But playing back here limits your LOS for a lot of their push, which isn't putting a lot of pressure on them, which is giving them more resources than they should be using. So you being right here is just constantly pressuring them, pressuring them, pressuring them, pressuring them, rotating. And then you're back on to pressuring again. Yep, you know his ass is looking for it. Yo, he dies, thank you. Good, just for you personally, Gek, mirror their rotations. Once they go to the right, this is where you should be going, and then you want to exit out to the left where you're behind them.
30 seconds.
Heroes never die.
Nice. I think we used a little bit too many ults there. We definitely could have saved mines. Oh, we got 2 picks out of them, so it's... Eh. I actually want to go back and watch that again. Rendering... Chase, make sure you look for that dynamite as soon as they come out to this side. Okay. Instantly use Valk because they come out with Shatter. It doesn't hit anyone either way. Again, I don't think mines were needed, especially because you put them back here. This is basically just cutting them off from cart when they have 25 seconds left. By the time mines are gone, they can touch point either way. Using either we use mines too early here, or we used them in the wrong place. Both, actually. So if you're going to use those mines, swing up and drop them over here. With how many ults we use, I don't think Deadeye was necessary. We got the pick out of it, but... if anything, all we needed there was probably Valk and Bob, at least for the initial part. If they start snowballing a little bit, that's when we pop something like Deadeye. That's when we pop something like Mines. Even if we committed Mines there, that's fine too, just because they did use Ko and they used Flux and Shatter. Oh wait, no, they don't have Flux. They just switched to it. Either way, they use Ko and Shatter. So we kind of want to try to match them in tempo when it's to ults. So when they get the better outcome of it. Good rock. Alright, good shit.
Personality synchronization 100%. Good to be back. Ready for battle.
Peace be upon you.
Someone called the
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I'm here. Damage increase.
Don't worry about the heals on Sig. No, we don't need to be healing here. We need to be pocketing our Ashe. Ooh, yeah, that's very dangerous. We made a good rotation. We should still be winning this. Here, where are we at? Okay, our Zen just died. Where did our Zen die? Let's just rewind this. Okay, so far so good. True, I would keep playing point like that. Yeah, that's a good rotation from them. Good lamp. Yeah, our Zen dies over. Okay. Jesus. They get a nice pin.
Barrier won't hold together. Gather at this position.
Ich kümmere mich dich.
Yeah, don't even go for it. Just get the fuck out.
Right beside you. Quite the boost.
Executing flight maneuvers.
Yep, stay with him, pocket him. Good, I'm glad you're not peeking.
Healing stream engaged.
Don't worry about healing our Zen in that case, just keep pocketing.
Heroes never die.
Good Valk. This is putting a lot of pressure on them. Don't play so far out in the open. Jesus. Good shatter.
Right beside you.
If anything, you're looking towards the Ash to pocket. Nice. Good old volley. I would go for the res that's top right here. We bring Chase back, we probably won this fight. Just because 1, he is Bob, and 2, it's extra DPS presence, we win that. But this was just a whole lot of staggering, and yeah, it's kind of unlucky. But you definitely could have gone for that res and probably gotten it off safely. I might be mistaken as if there's a Hanzo up there, but still. Yep, Chase, play the window, play the door, hotel, trying to speak. Yeah, don't worry about healing him anymore. Again, just go back to Chase to start pocketing. Good. That was very busy for that fight. We could have capped it a long time ago. Name, you were heavy feeding, bro. Constantly we were feeding. Again, we weren't fast enough to rotate once they moved to hotel. It was a really good rotation from them. It kind of caught us off guard. Fine. Happens, but make sure we're scouting that and looking ahead. Chase, we're not taking high ground enough. You were constantly playing on low ground or playing through that hotel, which isn't a bad angle to play. But you having high ground could contest someone like the Ash, like the Hanzo, compared to playing hotel where your sight lines are very narrow, so you're only going to be able to see a handful of people that back up into you, compared to playing, that high ground or playing this high ground where you have a whole view point even further back and the window, or over here where you're looking at all of this.
Stay here.
I'm probably going to be done after this map. I'll try to get to Chase, Zago, and Name another time. And Sunless, of course. And Tusk. Good pick. Good, we played that really well. Those are the kind of flanks that we need to be going on. Chase, I would be playing back there where Maddie was. This is when you get the big kills, though. Yeah.
Well done. Let me get you patched up. I'm here.
Yep, just keep pocketing Chase. Yeah, we're gonna get point before they even touch, so make sure we're taking this space up ahead of time.
Peak performance levels.
In that case, I think with them not coming forward and Naeem feeding, You didn't have to go back to Chew to heal. You could have just let the Zen Orb stay on him, and it'll, of course, heal up. Plus, he has shields that are going to regen. But it's going to give all charge to Zen, especially since we have Valk. You could have just stuck with Chase there. Good. Make sure you keep playing a little bit further back. I'd pop. Not yet, actually. You're killing the Mercy, though. I'd pop Valk now. This is when you pop it, right now. Let us continue to be aggressive. Dude. Well, guess Valk doesn't really matter, so. Just pop wings. Yeah. Not much to really say about that. Overall. Let's go back through this. First point, that was me. Busan was me doing team stuff. Second point was Laz. Laz, make sure you're positioning yourself correctly, specifically on Zen and Ana. Moira's a little bit different. A great team is easy to spot over a bad team, especially at this rank, by the mentality that they have to switch to when the situation calls for it. Whether that be pushing in aggressively and taking space and, you know, chasing those kills, whether that be playing more passive and waiting reinforcements, like I said on Busan. As a team, we need to start thinking more about how we're approaching the fight, and less about, oh shit, panic, it's almost 90, you know, it's almost 100, they're about to cap, we just gotta go, throw shit at the wall, and hopefully it sticks. So yeah, Chew, gotta work on the bubble timings, specifically looking to use bubbles to save more than just an energy bot and allowing people to be more aggressive. You're looking for those, you know, the big cooldowns that you're trying to block or cleanse in the sense of Mayfreeze and Nade. So yeah, just make sure. I thought everything else was fine. Grabs were okay. Could have gone a little bit earlier on the grab, specifically for the door where I pointed out best situation when they had beat. Laz, again, positioning. Make sure you're being in the right place in order to do the most work you can do. Specifically, like I said, on Zen and Ana, make sure you have the easiest time doing things. For Zen, you need to be close enough that you can put Discord and Harmony on tanks for, teammates and enemies. And you're giving yourself enough field of vision in order to, send a volley downrange. Maddie, I don't really have much to say to you. I didn't really see much of Mercy gameplay, and what I did see was fine. You're doing better not to peek, and not just doing bullshit just because it's a scrim. And Gek. I guess this is just kind of accounts to all DPS. When we run the ball sig stuff, we need to make sure that the high mobility DPS is comboing with our ball. Because without it, ball's going to have a hard time of killing anything compared to with somebody else with him. We're always going to be, for the most part, we're going to be playing a 4-2 split at most. At most during any of the maps that we run it on. So anything else I pointed out is in the VOD. Just go back and watch it for yourself, obviously. So other than that, I thought it was a good scrim. A bit sloppy on Kings. I kind of missed the rest of it just because I just got out of work. So